Hey, everybody, welcome to the Art of Relationship show. Hopefully, everybody's 2023 is kicking off right now. Hey, Chip Fu, I appreciate you. It's been a while. Talking about personality matches, maybe contradictions with personalities. And are you looking at, that type of personalities? You want the same type of personality to make a long lasting relationship work or a marriage work, right? And there's research out there. So there's a lot of myths, and a lot of people look at not only personality types, which, right, is about astrological signs, right? A Taurus matches up perfectly with whatever, right? And we all know astrological signs, there's no scientific fact backing those. Some people hold merit to them, some people don't. And I'm not going to get into bashing. Try to look at scientific aspects. And like with scientific research and everything else with the behavioral health, mental health, relationships, sexology aspects, there's always exceptions to every rule, right? So when we're talking about personality types. If you look at your partner now, right? Look at them now, and what draws you to them. Okay. Are they a little more rambunctious than you are? Are they more social and you're more maybe laid back or more shy, reserved? Those type of aspects, personality types. Excuse me. And gonna be looking at a lot of people realize that certain personalities that meet up, if you have the same type of personalities. I'm going to give you a piece of research that has been done even more recently as of last year, and it's been published, empirically validated, everything, that there's no relationship between personality similarities and life relationship satisfaction. Okay. So, what means the research is stating empirical evidence that there is no relationship, no correlation at all between personality similarities and relationship satisfaction. Meaning, right, a lot of people, we look at, you have the similar personality, you're going to be happy, you're going to be forever blessed, happy relationship, marriage for the rest of your life, right? There's no evidence substantiating that. There's no correlation, no relationship between saying similarity in personalities mean satisfaction in relationship and marriage. Let's throw that out there right now. And a lot of people are going to sort of look at, what do you mean, Greg? All that aspects. And everybody talks about, opposites attract, right? They attract at first, but the key indicator is if you're at opposing views of personalities, looking at, you're going to clash when it comes into severe opposites. Okay. What we're looking for, what I look for in relationships, marriages, is how personalities complement one another. Everybody talks about the yin, the yang. People talk about the masculine, feminine energy, right? The yang is the male, the yin is the female or feminine, energy. And both people can have both, right? I'm not even going to get, that's a whole nother subject matter to go along with. Okay. So when you're talking about personalities, right, we're not talking about values. We're not talking about morals. We're not talking about expectations, right? Those, a lot of times, and you've heard me say on the Art of Relationship show, various episodes about, how important expectations are. How important do you have matching or similar values, morals, life goals, that type of aspect? Do you have the same type of sexual desires, wants, cravings, that type of element? Those are different and those are important. But when we're talking about personalities, right? Shyness, right? Maybe extroverted, introverted, agreeableness. We're going down those lists of the age old personality types or styles. And you look at how they match and how they blend together. We're not talking about values, morals, life expectations. We're talking about personality styles, right? One might be more adventurous, more outgoing, has a hard time sitting still. And if they meet or match someone that is more of a homebody, that chances are it's not going to meet. Now, or what I mean is not going to meet or match. My apology. It's not going to prove for a lifelong road of happiness. There's going to be a lot more bumps and bruises, if you will, in the mix. So we need to be able to look at how do you handle, personality aspects, and are you able to even look at, what your personalities are? What drew you to your current partner, or what drew you to maybe a prior relationship? And what do you look for down the road? As I mentioned, right? You want complementary, which you balance each other. One person might be able to get someone to be more motivated. One person might be able to get someone out of their comfort zone a little bit. That's what I mean by complementary. If you go on total opposites, like I mentioned, one is an adrenaline junkie, right? Loves to jump out of planes, do all kind of stuff. Okay. And the other one is more of a homebody, doesn't like to take risks. Those are going to conflict. They're not complementary. Complementary personalities typically are you're able to communication styles, right? If you have one that's very argumentative, very a hothead, argumentative all the time, and you have someone that hates arguing, those are opposite personalities, right? Those need chances are it's not going to work. And if it does work, it might not be working well. There's always going to be a constant battle, always that tug of war conflict going on, or one of them or both of them are going to be walking on eggshells. Those personality types are not going to jive. And that's where you're looking at expectations are different. Personalities, we're talking about, how you flow together, how you look at the world, how you handle, what your moods are, the way you think. And Freud was wrong. Let's be honest, right? Sorry for you Sigmund Freud followers out there, psychoanalytical campaigns. Not that all of them were wrong, but Freud was wrong when he cemented. And I had to correct a friend of mine that was given a workshop saying, oh, personalities are cemented by the time you're 7 years old. No, they're not. Okay. Some people that are shy, that are more withdrawn, can become more assertive, more socially adept, if you will, and get out of that. We can grow and we can mature. We can evolve our personality. I believe in the research of substantiating this, that research is stating that we can evolve and grow our personalities, right? If we want to. That's the key word. So when we're talking about relationship, marriages, dating aspects, we're looking at complementary personalities, right? Do you challenge one another? And what I mean by challenge, that doesn't mean you're always arguing, fighting all the time. No, that's not healthy, and that's not gonna make a successful, healthy, happy relationship, right? You can challenge each other to where one person needs a kick in the butt to get something done or to motivate, and the other one needs their hand held. That you're able to manage and match those energies to where you are, picking each other up, not berating each other, not belittling everybody in those situations, right? So you want to look at complementary personalities, predict romantic attraction, right? So those are huge. When you look at first, opposites attract, but they don't balance, right? They don't support each other. When personalities are total opposites and they don't complement one another, you complement one another, you can look at ketchup, mushrooms, that type of aspect. Can you speak Arabic? I am so sorry. I don't know Arabic. I'm so sorry. Especially in Metro Detroit, Michigan, you would think I would be able to speak some Arabic, but I don't. So I apologize. But when you look at what are you drawn to in a person, right? Forget, looks. We're all wanting to go after somebody. But what personality types appall you? What personality types draw you in? We're looking at personality. Maybe somebody is more serious, more stout, more rigid in their thinking. One person loves joking around all the time, where those two are going to bash each other. You get me? Those are going to be total opposites. When we look at more personalities, when you look at complementary personalities, do you have a nice mix of maybe one person loves to be playful, joking around, and that person can maybe allow their partner to joke around, that you balance each other out and you have that nice mix where you can hold a conversation, you can talk about anything, or you have two people that they don't like to talk. They're okay, right? So that's where we're talking about complementary. If one person loves to talk, wants to talk about anything, loves communication, deep communication, dialogues, not monologues, and they're with somebody that does not like to talk, right? Their definition of talking is simple: no, yes, maybe. There's no in depth, there's no inquisitive going, oh, why do you feel that way? Or, hey, what are you thinking about this? There's no back and forth, ebb and flow. Those personality types are going to clash, and it's going to become where the one that loves to talk is going to become annoying to the one that does not like to talk, or the one, that doesn't like to talk is going to come across as boring to the one that loves to have dialogue, that type of situation, right? So when you look at complementary personalities, you're looking at, one person that just thrives on drama and the other one hates drama. Chances are you're not going to get along. Those are going to be opposites. They're not going to be complementary. Now, if both people, personalities, they love to problem solve, they love to try to be, sort of rational, logical a little bit, those can be complementary because you can problem solve together and you can understand two different perspectives. One person might be thinking A, the other person is thinking B, but you can, hey, why are you thinking A? Why are you thinking B? You can complement each other and you work great as a team. And if you look in the workplace for those people that, work maybe, factory work, office work, whatever it is, okay? Do you work better with certain personalities than others? Others you don't want to be around, others that you work well with. What about the other opposite of that? There's people you love at work, get along great with, but you don't get a lot of work done. Do you get me? So those are looking at, you want the complementary where you get along, you work together as a team in a relationship and a marriage. But you feel like you're just not going anywhere. That's not good. Or you feel like one person's evolving and growing and always after it, always growing, evolving as an individual, and the other person does not work on themselves and, they're happy and content. Those opposites of personality types, they're going to conflict and you're going to run into problems and you're going to run into challenges and you're going to end up butting heads all the time. So remember this, there's no correlation, no relationship between personality similarities equaling life, happiness, relationship, or marriage satisfaction. None at all, right? So a lot of times when you look at the personality aspects, and again, I'm going to repeat myself, personality differences are separate than values, morals, what your life expectations are. You get me? Hey, Kristen. Hey, peace. And you look at those type of aspects, though, the values, expectation, more what you like. We talk about sexual, compatibility as well. We're talking about personality compatibility today. And are you able to look at what you're drawn to, what you're not? And are there people you're drawn to, personality, but down the road you look at, oh my God, they drive me nuts. And it was the same thing that drove you nuts today that drew you to them earlier on, a year ago, 5 years, 20 years ago. Or you're always looking at the situation to be able to look at, what, why in the hell am I with this person? What was I drawn to? And we look at, some people are looking at, what that person provides, right? A sense of safety, maybe Oh, I know for a fact they're never going to cheat on me, but then you become bored with that person. Oh, I know this person will be a great mother, great father, but that's all you're looking at. You don't look at how you get along, how you jive, how you problem solve, and what personality annoyances drive you nuts. And again, I'm a firm believer that our personality, we can grow and evolve. Freud was so wrong when he said our personality was cemented by the time we're 7 years old. And there's still people out there that believe this. And that's crazy. You know what? And yeah, firm believer, are you the same person you were when you were a kid, a teenager, as an adult? I used to be shy around friends, I was fine, whatever, but people I did not know, man, I was shy. I had no swag, no game. I would be babbling all over the place like I am now, but maybe not as much so. So that's where I said I'm a firm believer of personality can grow and evolve. And how do you grow and evolve together in a relationship and looking at learning what drives you nuts, what doesn't drive you nuts, but looking at, that yin and yang aspect in a relationship, how you complement one another, right? One falls down, the other one can pick the other one up. But if the other one falls down, is the other one going to be able to pick that other one up or no? This is part of having each other's backs. Are you able to be there for each other in the way that your partner needs? And maybe they just don't have that personality. um, Stereotypically, right? And I don't get in this, a man's, women want men that are strong, that are, strong, reliant, that are, you know, always got it together, right? So, but if the woman falls apart, gets emotional, the man's supposed to be there nurturing. I'm all about that. But if the man falls apart, the woman won't be able to handle it. You get me? So if you have two people that fall apart, emotionally, what's going to happen? That's what I mean about the complementary aspects. Do you have each other's back and can you allow each other to be strong, but also can you allow one another and do your personalities, sort of go hand in hand, the yin and yang, the complementary, where you can be maybe not so strong all the time, where your partner can be strong, that you can have that ebb and flow, that teeter-totter aspect that provides for fun in a fulfilling relationship versus total opposites and you clash. Somebody that might not have social couth, right? That has a lack of emotional maturity. Let's be real. And they're out in public and they're the ones that, what, I don't care what anybody else says. Screw you. Da, 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 da. And you're with somebody that has social couth or emotional maturity, chances are you're going to clash, right? Because they're going to think, do you ever shut your mouth? Do you ever take into consideration about how you impact others? I don't care what I say. And that's what I mean about personality differences and total opposites that are going to um, reach the demise of the relationship or marriage. And you could have personality aspects across the board. You could have in work a certain personality, mindset, whatever, outside of work, right? What about a sexual personality? And do you feel that the way your sex life is matches your personalities? Hey, Jenny. Hey, peace. Appreciate you joining in. And those are type of things when you look at those elements about, the personality. Some people can be so subdued and, maybe shy socially, but they're a dynamo sexually. You get me? Maybe they come on, they come all undone and, they're not shy anymore. So you look at those complementary aspects. I'd rather have my person have it together or keep maintaining here, but they can let loose and be free and be themselves. Nobody wants to walk on eggshells in a relationship and always feel like they have to match up to their person. Do you get me? That's what I'm talking about when it comes to opposite personalities, that they feel like they're not measuring up, they're not good enough, or they're always trying to meet that other person. Like, I never can keep up with an adrenaline junkie. You get me? Where the other one is more shy, more subdued, more a homebody. Neither one of them are wrong type of personalities. It's just you need to be able to match. Doesn't have to be a perfect match, but you have to be able to complement one another. Right? One loves to cook, the other one likes to clean up dishes, right? That would be complementary, right? And if both people yell and scream and both people are hotheads, chances are in a relationship, no one's going to be able to calm the other one out. You get me? No one's going to be able to balance that out, and those personalities are just going to clash those type of elements. And that's where you run into challenges. And we can talk about these are just personalities. And, we can get into the expectations, trust, lying, deceit, those type of things. Are those personalities? They can be, right? Or are those behaviors of a given person, right? So we can look at personality traits. I'm not going to be with someone that is, maybe someone is very religious and devout, and that's their personality, right? And someone could care less about religion, and those two are going to clash, right? Now, if one person is very devout in one area, say religion, and the other one is atheist, they can get along, they can complement one another as long as those views are not so cemented and not so black and white in thinking. That's where those personalities will clash. But if you can complement one another, you can learn from one another. Those are great relationships, how you reach out and you can have that other person's hand, but you want that other person to have your hand as well. Okay. So when you're looking at the personality aspects, look at how you handle conflict. If one person is always, maybe soothing the other person, right? The other person, I can't handle. They're highly anxious, highly emotive. They have a hard time, if something goes wrong, they break down a lot, right? They have a hard time, managing things that go wrong or come sideways at you, or having grief, or setbacks in life. They have a hard time handling it. And that one person, oh, I got you, I got you, I got you. That's great. That can work out well. But what happened if the one person, that always has you, that is strong all the time, needs you, and you can't be there for them? And what happens in that situation? There's going to be resentment, and there's going to be, man, I have you all this time and you can't have me. My loved one is dying in the hospital. I'm a mess, but I'm worried about you being a mess too. You get me? That's where those personality conflicts come into play, and where those opposites attract, right? It's in those times of need. How are you balancing each other? Do you have each other emotionally? Are you able, if two people are conflict avoidant, right? Chances are there's going to be an issue in that relationship or marriage down the road that's going to bite them in the booty, because those similar personalities are not going to work that well together, because you have both people that put their head in the sand. They don't deal with any conflict at all. They don't want to. And no one knows that there's issues. They both feel a certain way, maybe not loved, not respected, not desired, right? But they're never going to bring it up, because they do not want to cause a conflict. You get me? Because they're conflict avoidant. Oh, I don't want headaches. I don't want to feel, someone's going to hate me or be mad at me. I can't handle that. So those type, when they're the same personality, they're going to clash. Now, if one person is conflict avoidant, maybe the other one can help ease and make that other one feel safer to be able to handle challenges, to bring up issues in a relationship in a respectful manner, in a healthy manner, right? We don't want one person that's usually maybe conflict avoidant that gets challenged, and then it comes out in anger and they rage, and it's like, whoa, right? That's not healthy either. So you have to look at how those conflict avoidant people, or what personalities match yours. They challenge you, right? There's a difference. They challenge you to grow, to evolve, to become the best you can be. And some personalities contradict that. And you are going to remain bored, sedentary. There's not going to be any growth, or you're constantly going to be walking on eggshells and wondering what's coming next. And those are the opposite, total opposite personalities, not conflict. Okay. So hopefully this insight. I know it's not one of my best episodes, but hopefully some insights will look at what do you find as far as complementary personality to your own that is able to challenge you, that forces you to grow and to look at yourself, right? And to come out of your comfort zone as well and to thrive, not be stuck, not to be held down, or that's also not pulling at you all the time. Okay. So those are looking at those situations and where you want to be and what that looks like for you. How do you balance each other? How do you are you able to be strong and comfort at the same time? And you look at that balance of feminine and masculine energy, and are you able to look at those situations to what does that look like? And hey, Pakistan, hey, welcome. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Love back to you. So looking at those avenues and looking at that with complementary personalities are not opposites, but you can balance each other, right? Like I mentioned, one person could be strong doing maybe home remodeling projects and the other one's great at cleaning, or one's great at cooking, the other one likes cleaning up. That you complement each other. You know, work with each other. You're able to balance challenges and look at that. Plus, you're able to have the, compatibility in other aspects when it comes to maybe sexuality, when it comes into how you handle problems. And then you can look at expectations of how you want your life. You want kids, no kids, how you want to spend your free time, quality time, that type of aspect. But look at personalities and what draws you to them, right? Maybe some people are very needy, always needing help. Maybe some people are always drawn to some people that are addictive prone and that always need that help, and they always need to feel needed, right? We talk about codependency, dependency personalities, and there's a difference between codependency and dependency, right? There's a difference. So you look at, are you a type of person that always needs to be needed? And if you're with somebody that's very independent, that doesn't need to be needed at all, that might drive you nuts. And then you're always looking and searching for that person to be taken care of. So you have to look at that balance. And are you able to grow and evolve? Maybe you don't want to be needed as much. We all want to be needed to a certain extent. But again, it's looking at where do you fit that puzzle pieces of personalities. Okay. So check me out, theartofrelationships.org. I have a few self-help courses too, and they're cheap. They're very reasonable. I mean, really reasonable. Check them out. They're video self-help programs. And also check out my social media all over the place under Love Guru Greg on YouTube, Instagram, where people are right now. Peace. And all Facebook, all over the place. Okay. So peace and love. Let's hope 2023 is very, very happy and fulfilling for everybody out there. Okay. My peace and love go out to everybody for real. Thank you for the support. Take care, everybody. Bye bye.